Hello, my name is Andrew McCoy, and my supply and demand project is on curve shifting. Now, before we understand curve shifting, we want to understand what the curves are. And there are two. There's a supply curve, which looks like this, and a demand curve, which looks like this. Now, a supply curve, let's talk about that. A supply curve represents a correlation between price and the quantity supplied of a good or service. And they show the change in supply of said good or service. Now, on the picture on the right, the lines labeled S is the supply, the D is demand. We will get to that later. But as you can see, the price goes up, the price goes vertically, and the quantity goes horizontally. Now, when a curve shifts in either left or right, that changes the correlation between the price and the quantity. For example, in this graph, the supply is shifting left. That means that the price has increased, but the quantity has decreased. And the other way around, if it was shifting to the right, then the price would decrease, but the quantity would increase. Now, for demand curves, it's kind of similar, but it's also kind of different. See, for this example here, the D obviously is demand, and the S is surplus, or supply, sorry. And so it pretty much has the same kind of correlation, the price vertically and the quantity horizontally. But this is obviously for demand, what people want. So when this curve is shifting in this case for the picture, it's shifting to the right. That means that both price and quantity increases. But if it were going the other way to the left, that means both price and quantity decreases. So demand will either pull both things forward or both things back, but supply will change one or the other. Now, what does this mean for supply and demand? What do the shifts mean? It means a whole sorts of things. That means the market is changing by either a good or a bad thing. For example, demand would shift to the right if a product is being made more, and since there is more of it, the price will go down, meaning people will want it now because it's cheaper, so they can save more money. And another example, if the supply curve will shift to the left, that means there is less of a product to buy, meaning either they stop producing it or they're low on supply, so they can't produce, they're producing less of it. So because of that, the price will increase, so they can make more money off of the less amount that they have. Now, why is this important? Because there's one important thing: balance. Balance is very important in supply and demand. It's important because we don't want any drastic shifts in the market. If we want there is a special sweet spot right in the middle where demand and supply meet. It's called equilibrium. That means nothing is above each other, nothing is above or below each other, meaning sellers won't have to jack up their prices, and companies no longer have to make more than what they need to. They still have to make more, but not as much as they need to, wasting money and therefore supplies. So, yes. The works that I used were from previous assignments that I had currently. I did not particularly know how to cite them, so I am explaining here. Thank you.